Good morning, missionaries, or whenever you're watching this. We've done a lot of legs, so I think we're going to blast the arms today, okay? So first, let's just kind of get in a comfortable seated position. I want you to close your eyes, roll the shoulders down on the back, and just let your spine be one long line all the way from the base, all the way up and through and out the crown of the head. So you can actually kind of tuck your chin slightly toward your chest so you can really feel that lengthening. And just breathe deeply. So inhaling, filling the lungs completely. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Keep breathing like that. So one thing that I don't know if you've noticed or not, but before I even started yoga, I was never really breathing completely. And as I did my Kundalini training, which is breathing techniques, they told us that most people never feel the complete, all of the lobes of the lungs. And there's, I believe, 3 or 4 lobes. And most people never ever get it to the base. And so what we want to do is we want to focus on inhaling and completely filling the lungs, feeling everything expand, and then exhale and completely empty them. So let's just take a couple more breaths. Okay, if your eyes are closed, open them up, and let's meet in a tabletop position. So we've done this before. Spread the fingers wide. You want the wrists under the shoulders, the knees underneath the hip points, and I want you to push away from the ground, drawing the navel towards the spine and slightly up towards the heart. And then you're also broadening and widening the back. So feel that entire backside becoming as widened, I guess the only word I can think of, as widened as you possibly can get it. Try and envision Captain America's back. Sorry. He's got some pretty big scapula, so envision you have Captain America's back and you're just making it as wide and broad as possible. So now I want you to start just tilting forward and back. So inhale forward, exhale back. Keeping that core engagement, belly towards spine, navel towards spine, and slightly up towards the heart. And we're just warming up the wrists. One more time. Now come back to neutral, and now we're just going to circle around the wrists, okay? So inhaling up, exhaling back. So you're hitting every square inch of the wrists. And mine are popping. I don't know about yours. And reverse it. Okay, come back to neutral. So let's get in some planking really quick, not quick. We're going to hold this. Now again, focus on your alignment. Wrists are under shoulders, Your navel's drawn towards the spine, slightly up towards the heart. And I want you to hold that core engagement while you're still breathing. So right now we're just breathing into the lungs, okay? Take one more breath. And as you exhale, come down onto the forearms. So again, elbows under shoulders, drawing navel towards spine, and breathing. We're going to activate all of these muscles right now and just get them working. Get the blood rushing to them. On the next inhale, we're going to tiptoe up, keeping our forearms on the mat up to dolphin pose. Pushing away from the ground with the forearms and the palms and the elbows. Don't sink into your arms, your shoulders. Take one more deep inhale in, and exhale, tiptoe back. And hold it for just a second here. So now we're going to do one breath, one movement. So we're going to inhale, tiptoe up, exhale back, okay? And it's slow, it's not fast. So inhale in, and exhale down. Remembering to always push away from the ground. Inhale, and exhale. Really turning on those shoulders. Inhale, and exhale. One more time. Inhale in, and exhale. And let's hold this. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then come onto the knees. Sit back on the heels and just roll your shoulders. And roll them forward. Yeah. Bring your arm across the chest. Now bring it behind the back, touching the hand in the center of the back, pulling on the elbow. And now switch arms. Pull the left arm across the chest. And then up behind the back, pulling on the elbow. And release that, shake it out. My husband's being a dork right now, if you could only see him. Step the feet back, we're coming into plank again. So again, hold tight, draw navel to spine, slightly up towards the heart, pushing away from the ground. Take a deep inhale, and exhale, push yourself back into downward facing dog. And bicycle it out slowly with the breath. We're waking up the hamstrings. We want to reach our tailbone up towards the sky.
Our biceps are by the ears, our arms are long and strong. And just get a really good bend in the knees and hold it static for just a second while you reach the tailbone up high. So we're going to go from plank to downward dog in a wave-like motion, okay? So we're going to inhale, come up to plank. And you may need to adjust your feet so the wrists are underneath the shoulders. And then we're going to do a chaturanga, push up, and then come back to downward dog. Inhale forward to plank, chaturanga, push up, and back to down dog. Do 4 more on your own. Making sure you have that core engagement the entire time. And let's do one more time. And push back to downward facing dog. I don't know about you, but my arms are on fire. So we're going to come back into plank. And we're going to really blast these arms. So we're going to do shoulder taps, okay? So if you need to bring your feet a little bit wider, that's fine for stability. And you're just going to tap, 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 tap. Hold that core engagement. Try and see if you can control how much your body is moving. We'll do 4, 3, 2, and 1, and push back to downward facing dog. So if you need to go into child's pose, that's fine. Down dog is actually a resting posture, so if you can feel the rest in here, then take this. If not, go to child's pose. Just take a couple of breaths. Try and slow the heart rate down, slow the breathing down. So come up on the tippy toes, look towards the top of your mat, and then tiptoe your way up, meeting the feet to the hands, and we're going to forward fold. So the feet are hip width distance, so about 2 fists between the feet. Grabbing the ankles, not the ankles, grab the elbows and sway side to side and front to back, and just elongate the spine and feel that stretching and lengthening in the hamstrings. Your knees never have to be straight in the forward fold. If you don't have tight hamstrings, then be my guest and have your legs straight. Mine are just barely waking up for the day, so they are going to be bent. Place the hands, fingertips on the mat. Heel toe the feet together, so the big toes are touching and heels are slightly apart. And just exhale, forward fold, resting the chest and stomach on the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, engage the core. So navel drawn towards spine, shoulders away from the ears, and crown of the head is reaching out towards the front wall. And breathe.
So every time I tell you, engage that core, I want you to check in and make sure you've got your navel drawn towards the spine and slightly up towards the heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core again. Exhale, forward fold. And now I want you to slowly rise up, rounding the back, vertebrae by vertebrae, all the way up into mountain pose. Mountain pose. Thighs are lifted up off of the kneecaps, so engage those quads. Tuck the tailbone under. Shoulders are down on the back. Palms facing forward. And you're looking up towards the horizon. So inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, plant the hands, step back into plank, and either go to downward dog or you can go through a flow. Inhale into your heart opener, and exhale, downward facing dog. You can come up on the tippy toes and tiptoe or hop to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly roll up like a zombie. Sweeping the arms out and up to the top. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop to the back of the mat. Inhale to your heart opener. And exhale, downward facing dog. Up on the tippy toes and tiptoe to the top of the mat. Big toes touch just slightly apart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rolling up. With the breath, bringing the arms out to the side. Palms touching overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to your chaturanga, and either go to downward facing dog, or you can go through a flow. Excuse me. Last time, up on the tippy toes, tiptoe to the top of the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rolling up. Reaching the arms out to the side, palms touching overhead. And let's pause right here for a second. Take your right hand, grab the left wrist, like this. And then we're going to pull ourselves, I didn't do the camera very well. So we're going to pull ourselves up and over to the right. So we're not sinking down into this, we're opening the heart, looking up towards the elbow, and breathing. Feeling that length on the left side. And actively pulling. Now switch sides. Excuse me. I need to drink a little more water. Feel that lengthening, stretching. It should feel really good, especially since we really worked the arms and shoulders. Come back up. Inhale and arch through back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, engage that core. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back. Go to downward dog, or go to a heart opener. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So let's do a little bit of core with this to make it really fun, okay? So inhale that right leg up.
Exhale, knee to elbow, down to the wrist, elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist. Come over to the left side. Elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist. 3 and 4 and 5. Now shoot that leg all the way back again, three-legged dog. Exhale, keeping that leg up, come down to a three-legged plank, keeping that leg up to a chaturanga, and then drop it as you come into upward dog. And then exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale that left foot up. Exhale, bring it to elbow, wrist, elbow, wrist. 3 and 4 and 5. Switch sides, and elbow, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push that back to three-legged dog. Inhale, come on forward into a three-legged plank, down to a three-legged chaturanga. Drop the foot, inhale up into upward dog, and exhale back into downward facing dog. Whew. Okay, let's come down to the knees. Because wow, that was a good one, right? How are your shoulders feeling? How are the arms feeling? You can just kind of move your head, move the shoulders, whatever you need. I am going to be feeling this either tomorrow or the next day. Sometimes it takes a day or two for that to kick in. So if you would like to go into child's pose, you are more than welcome. So child's pose, the big toes are touching, knees are spread wide behind you, and you're just melting your chest down. If you just need to take a little break, a little breather. This is a quick one, but it is also, you're gonna feel it. Well, I felt it. Hopefully you feel it. If not, then I don't know. Maybe you'd have someone sit on your back as you're doing chaturangas. That would about kill me. So as we are just either in child's pose or just in a seated posture, I want you to close your eyes, resting your palms facing upwards on your knees, and just roll the shoulders onto the back again, feeling the length of your entire spine. So from the base of your spine, your tailbone, all the way up, and shooting up and out the crown of the head. Slowing the breath down. Trying to slow the heart racing. Sometimes it's hard to keep the shoulders away from the ears when we're doing deep breaths, but that's what I want you to just make sure that your shoulders are relaxed and it's just your chest and your lungs doing all of the work here, okay? So I'm reading a book by a couple of gentlemen. You go ahead and keep your eyes closed and just listen to me. So I'm reading a book by a couple of gentlemen that do the YouTube videos for Come Follow Me. They're a part of the Book of Mormon Central. They're amazing teachers, doctors, I believe. They have their PhDs up at BYU, and their knowledge of the scriptures is just mind-boggling. And they've gotten together, and with the one guy and his wife, and they've written the book, and I'll try and remember and let you know which one it is.
But I read one chapter each day after I'm done with the Book of Mormon. And in the chapter today, he talks about Samuel and how he kept hearing the voice of the Lord, and he kept thinking that it was the high priest calling him. And then finally, the high priest kept on sending him back, and he finally realized and went and told Samuel, that is the voice of the Lord that's calling you. So you need to just stay here in bed, and if you hear him again, and I'm paraphrasing, thy servant is here, here am I, type of a thing. And then at the very end, it always has something that you can, like a challenge, and it asks, what are you doing to hear the voice of the Lord? What are you doing to help others to hear the voice of the Lord? And that's something that you guys are doing, which is so awesome to me, is you are helping people to understand that when they hear or feel certain things, that is actually the Lord or the Holy Ghost speaking to them and helping them to recognize that's just not a thought in my head. It's not just me being crazy. That's really the Lord talking to them. And so I want to, I hate to say give you a challenge, but because this is basically your life right now. But I want you to all just kind of try and focus on helping people to recognize whenever they've had thoughts, and ask them questions like, say, have you ever had an impression of, maybe I need to call someone, or maybe I need to do something, and helping them to recognize that the Lord is exactly mindful of them specifically, and that he can talk to each of us specifically. I think it's so important for all of us to recognize his voice. Oh, that's the name of the book. I think it's called Hear Him. I'll let you know though, for sure. But that's just so people recognize that he really is a part of our lives, that he wants to talk to us, that he wants to be there for us. So that is the challenge. And maybe this is what you guys are already doing. You're like, psh, already been there, done that. We do it all the time. Then just ignore me. That's fine. I don't care. But I want you to all know that I love you, and I am so impressed with all that you're doing, just to save people. You are literally saving soul and making a domino effect in their lives, their families' lives, everyone's lives. So thank you so much for your service. So if your eyes aren't closed and you're watching me as I babble, close your eyes again. Feel the length of the spine. Palms are resting up on top of the knees. On your next inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, palms touching overhead. Exhale your hands down to the forehead, pausing to only have kind thoughts. Pausing at the lips to only speak kind words. And pausing at the heart. That we will always have our hearts softened, and that they will always be open to the guidance, direction, and love that Heavenly Father is wanting to shower us with and to bless us with. The light within me, which is actually the spirit that resides within me, honors and respects the light within you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. I hope you all have an awesome day. Love you all. Thanks. Bye.